really super ancient technology, or just could be just holes in time and space that just happen to appear, anomalies, that appear in certain places and stay there. But I've been told that the Bigfoots, one of their jobs as a guardian of the forest, if you go down that road, is the fact that they do, sometimes they stir people away, and sometimes when you have a bad encounter, maybe it's to keep you away from accidentally walking through something like that. So, and I've never heard of a Bigfoot trying to kill someone as much as deters them from going up into a certain area. Okay. It could be because of the young ones, but it also could be because there's danger ahead and they don't want you going into that area.
That's a possibility. I know in my encounter, if it wanted to kill me and my friend, it could have killed us very easy. I mean, put it this way, it could have outran us like you wouldn't believe. Here's two guys, At that time, I was, probably in my late 40s, early 50s. So, I mean, I wasn't in great health to run. And, I mean, running that 2 or 2.5 miles back to the car for the woods, I mean, it could have caught us any time if it wanted to. I can guarantee that.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. But it has opened the door for me to think about in terms of when I'm starting to see all these different beings, especially I don't think that I could take the camera and just simply go to an unrelated bunch of woods, take pictures, and see all the beings that I'm seeing in this one particular area. There's been a lot of energy that's been built up just from this one area that has to do with my frequency, how frequent I go to it, and I think it could be my relationship with them. It could be a special area that they've been gathering at for a long time. I just happen to be stumbled upon it. I noticed that there's an acceleration of contact, that has to do with myself, and not only myself, but my friends too, that have had contact. So I'm starting to wonder, because in a lot of my pictures, an incredible number of them are very humanoid looking, just like little Bob and Sal and a few of the other ones I've captured here on my camera. There were others that kind of look like more typical Bigfoot, but they're miniature sized for the regular Bigfoots. And then you have things that kind of look like insects, like insectoids, or So it's making me. Let me throw out this as a possibility.
And please do.
Not only a portal that takes you from different dimensions, but portals can also be used to traverse the great distance of space to go from another planet to here. Okay. Plus, they could have ships that actually come from other planets. We always make this assumption that we're expecting these giant ships to come here, and they're going to have people-sized aliens coming out and greeting us and whatever, and we never think in terms of size, big or small, that maybe some of these beings that come here either via portals or through a somehow some way, the ships are really micro small or very small. These are really small beings. So is it possible that some of the little people are settlers from another planet? Because they have, it's like today, for instance, I got a little concerned because I've been doing some other experiments that have to do with changing my energy patterns. I don't want to get into that. That's going to go a little bit. It does involve certain things that I'm doing. That's perfectly safe, though. But I went out there with the full intent that I want to be able to see them better. And so in one of my pictures here on the site that I just gave, on the bottom, near the bottom, I have this on the creek area. All of a sudden, I'm just seeing them all over the place. There's one that looks like he's got a helmet on, but he's got glasses on or something. It's just like he's got equipment on him, and he looks like a soldier or something. It's just very bizarre, and I'm thinking, I'm seeing this. I'm seeing helmeted people, and I'm seeing little boxes on the side of their face like little communicators and stuff. And I've seen these devices. They're very pronounced, very artificial-looking things that they're holding, in some of my pictures. And And so I have to surmise that they, just like little Bob here, in the original picture, he is actually wearing glasses. He's wearing the little squared-off specs, for do little people need glasses? I guess they do, when they get older or something. So, it's opened the whole door that there is a civilization under, that we're not even aware of, that's right beneath our feet, literally.
Well, it has to be, because, again, like Mary Joyce, telling me about the skeletons they found in North Carolina. It just makes you wonder. And the thing is, are they, just because what we do is we think, oh, gee, we're anywhere from 5'1" to like 6 foot, whatever, the average height. And that doesn't mean in another solar system, another planet far off somewhere. Who knows what the size of the planet, how the species would develop in height. Even going back to the 1400s and going previously back, a man was maybe tall at 5'1", 5'2". I mean, that's how much we've grown. So, you think about it. I mean, it might be quite common for a lot of different species. They don't have to be big, giant people like us. And again, we might be the giants. And then again, there might be planets out there that, again, like the giants they have found skulls of, that are even quite a bit bigger than us. So, I mean, we got to look at that and with an open eye and an open being free in our brain about it, because, it's just, it's a very good possibility. And when you're talking about they have like equipment, like communicators and whatever on them, tells me that, maybe they do have their little military, and who knows, maybe, the area that you have in there, who knows, maybe it is a little settlement of, aliens that have settled. Maybe they're even studying us.
Well, I think they're just trying to live there, but it's kind of amazing because it's an area that's not going to be disturbed anytime too soon by logging. I noticed that. They seem to know that. Like, why settle in an area where they're going to come through and cut all the trees down within just a few years? They find places like the reservoir areas, where they don't do any logging and stuff. They find places like that because humans can't normally go into those areas without special permission. They don't hunt. They can't hunt in there or whatever. And that's prime area where you're going to find a lot of these beings. I think even if you have regular-sized alien beings that, they're not going to settle. Now, if they're very humanoid-looking, I wouldn't doubt that within our cities, walking amongst us, are people from other places.
I wouldn't doubt
and they know
that
it. But the ones that can't get away with that incognito in general public because they look too different from humans. Remote areas like out here, it's a perfect places for them to put their like the sides of the mountain or top of mountains where people can't get to is a perfect place to settle. To park these ships and things, or to set up a base.
I wonder if they do their areas, their little towns or cities or their villages, if it's underground, because too, isn't there you get how much snow is there right now?
Well, here we're not really. It can get snowed in pretty good. I mean, we've had some pretty good years of snow. Today, this winter has been really light so far, so we don't have any snow on the ground here in Greenwater. But I've already determined that the ones where I think they live, like the Littles, for instance, you take these giant stumps that have been logged. Well, they got huge root systems, that go underground. And what happens generally is, they start rotting, and so those root systems start to rot, and what they leave is tunnels in place of the wood that was there before. And also, you find sometimes underneath the log, the stump itself, it gets hewn out, and it's going to like being a rotunda of sorts for a city. And so, I'm pretty much convinced that one of the places they stay is underground. They have these underground villages and things like that.
Have you ever seen any traces of any of their structures or anything like where it looks like something was built? Humanoid build.
Well, I don't think they don't fly that way. They make use of whatever's natural looking, and that's how they live in it. It's just like we're always assuming they're going to build chairs and beds and things, like furniture like we have. And it may be possible, and I think some of them do, depending on what area that you're in and how big these are. Because there are littles that are only 2 or 3 feet tall too, but they tend to be more like the human race and everything, but they're really well hidden, but they all end up having little houses they live in and things like that, But here, these ones are, I can't really say for sure, because I'm also dealing with a species of beings that also has a tendency to phase out, that just because I captured them on the camera 1 second, they have the ability to kind of phase out, shift out of reality and not be visible. So the part of their world might be invisible to us as well.
No, they could have cloaking stuff if they have the capability of whatever it being here, and then having like communicators or devices on them and stuff like that. Maybe they can cloak their whole area, and we wouldn't know it. Now, Nikki wanted to know if they were underground, how far underground do you think they would be going?
Oh, it depends. If they're not too terribly far, if it's a little, because they're coming out of the surface all the time and stuff. Because I think that's what they're not going to stay on the ground all the time. I really don't know how deep they can go, or how interconnected these things might be, But I also know that they seem to be in organized with the larger beings like the Sasquatch. So there's a symbiotic relationship they have with them, and they're all working together. It's just we humans aren't included into that picture.
Yeah, I wonder why. Just think of what humans would do.
Yeah, I wonder why.
I was talking to a guy who's going to be coming on my show here that he in the next couple of weeks he is going to get a couple of his friends together this coming spring, and they're going to go out Bigfoot hunting, and they are bound and determined if they see one, they're going to kill it, just to bring it back for proof. And I said, gee, you're really taking something, because look at it this way: if they did kill a Bigfoot, for example, right? And then the authorities get involved and they do a DNA, and if there's any human DNA in it, could they be charged with murder at that point? So yeah. They're taking a big risk of doing something like that. I think photos would be a heck of a lot smarter. There's
an actual law somewhere on some municipality that actually protects the Bigfoots, so that if they killed it would be like murder. And honestly, that is just so ignorant. I could use more explicit terms to express.
You know what?
That
you actually
kind of rage
can.
I would feel it for somebody like that.
Now it can get bleeped out, but you can't. I think that I told him right off the bat. I said, instead of investing in guns like a 30-06 and stuff like that, get some good camera equipment. Try to catch it. Do some plaster prints of the foot. Try to get hair. Try to get the scat. Try to get whatever proof you can. But why kill one? Get sounds. Get all this stuff and compile it. Your cell phone can get you all the pictures and sounds you want. You don't need anything really super sophisticated nowadays. But it scares me when somebody goes out there and thinks, oh, they're going to kill Bigfoot. What happens if now this is hypothetical, right? They say a Bigfoot. What happens if it's like one of these guys that's been posting stuff on Facebook, dressed up in a costume that looks like a Facebook, and they shoot the guy, and kill the odds are, I wouldn't even think about it.
Well, they totally miss they totally I don't know what's going through their heads of why. Usually it's because they want their 15 minutes of fame that they killed a Bigfoot. And for what other reason, they don't give any consideration the fact that, that